G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 29 of our cold Trozan Skyshard Spellbreaker, where last episode we took another quick trip back to the Ancient Grove just to kill Gargabol, more as a can we do it than anything useful. He dropped, where'd I put it? He dropped the Gargabol's Ring of Destruction, which in the 28.2 video I actually said was not bad. However, I've been playing a lot of Skater Templar, and yeah, this is not bad for the Skater. This is actually pretty average for the Spellbreaker. And then I popped my head outside the Ancient Grove and talked to Mogdrogan, and he gave me this, which would also be really, really good for the Skater. And yeah, unfortunately, we're just gonna pretend they didn't happen. Right, so I've done some gear upgrades in between then and now. I went and farmed the Astrakhan Valley here. Actually, I'll show you where I went. I needed 12 of... don't have any left. I went into the Tomb of Korvac and I killed a whole bunch of the Chthonian cult members because I needed some more Seals of Binding so as I could make the Prismatic Diamond for my helmet. Now, I know what you're thinking, but there's no Prismatic Diamond on your helmet. And that is true. That's because it's on the Fetten Mask, which we're going to be wearing in about 5% of a level, or whatever that tiny little gap is. The other thing I wanted to talk about is this is back on 1.1.9.8, which I did mention in the episode 28.2 video, but I figure some people may skip that. So the reason for that is when I was trying to farm the Seals of Binding in order to make this, I had must have been 7 or 8 crashes to desktop over a period of about an hour. It happened to me in the Ugden Bog, it happened to me again in the Ancient Grove, and it happened at the top of the village of Darkvale, because I was running through looking for crafting components, and then it happened a couple more times in the Tomb of Korvac, and I just kind of gave up. I can't record a Let's Play with crashes that frequent, so I'm going to wait until next week when the next version of the 1.2 patch comes out, and then I'll try it again. Having just rolled back before going into the Ancient Grove, I came out of there and I had 2 healing potions, so I'm glad that fight didn't go on much longer, otherwise it would have been potentially fatal, because I would have hit Q expecting a potion to get used and nothing would have happened. Right, so we're going to continue pumping cunning just here, no skill points to spend, and gear upgrades. So we have the Sapphire and the Ruby of Elemental Balance, both of which give us a nice amount of offensive ability and cold damage, and between them, the 2 set bonus there is even more offensive ability, more defensive ability, and the Elemental Force proc, which, if I just come over here, and let's go ahead and throw some dots on those, you'll see these little spiral of cold and fire spinning around. That's what that proc is. And it does, as you might imagine, fire and cold damage, and a lot more cold damage because we have a lot more % cold damage on our gear. So that's what we swapped out. I did have to pull some skill points out of Night's Chill, or sorry, put them back in. So that's where our level 74 points went. They went back into Night's Chill, because the 2 rings that I had taken off both had +2 to Night's Chill on them. We did, however, pick up +2 to Alexstra's Flash Freeze and another +2 to Absolute Zero. So this is a serious dot now, and there's only 1 point invested into this, I believe. Alexstra's Flash Freeze, we may be able to pull some skill points out of that, actually. The other items I have upgraded, by which I mean I replaced the old ones, were these gloves, which have a bunch of bleeding resistance on them now. I swapped out the blue gloves. These have more armor and better resistances, and just generally better. I've also swapped out the shoulders, so we no longer have the Fallen Sky Meteor proc on the shoulders. We have another Ice Spike with another +2 to Night's Chill. So -4, +2. Oh, she's gone, isn't she? So we should still be at 20 out of 10. And I believe we have lost one Ice Spike proc in exchange for... Can we go up the ramp? Thank you. In exchange for the Ruby and Sapphire of Elemental Balance. Right. Nope. So we don't get any more skill points back from that, and we get 2 back from that. Okay, so I think we either put them into Maven Sphere, because we're back on 1.1.9.8. I am taking a decent chunk more damage, and I am feeling it. Or we keep pumping Nightblade. I think for now, we chuck it in Maven Sphere. We can always take it out of Maven Sphere and put it into the Nightblade bar when we get closer to getting the pets. But for right now, we are nowhere near the pets. Right, let's get on with this. Now, I'm done with the Ancient Grove. For all the reasons I said in the last video, I already got the blueprint I wanted from there. There is nothing else in that dungeon that I want. And to be honest, I didn't really want to go kill Gargabol because there is a non-zero risk that he would have killed me. So the risk of death was very real, and the actual benefit for going in there was basically nothing. That was more or less my way of saying, yeah, I can do it, nah, sort of thing. Not really. Just a bit of fun. The reason I don't generally do bosses like that, even though I'm pretty sure I can kill them, is, Aether Resist, go bye-bye, is because I know that there are people playing along who maybe don't have as much experience on this build as I do, or who don't know the fight well enough to know that, you know, you've got to kite it. And so I'm kind of worried that some people are going to follow this guide, get to Gargabol and kind of go, well, he killed it, so I guess I should kill it too, and maybe whatever reason he had for killing it will drop, and like there's no reason there. So it was just basically a bit of fun. And it's not something I generally do for that reason. These are supposed to be kind of guides for how to get to 100 on hardcore, even though I'm sure pretty much most of you are going to be using it as second monitor content just to fill dead air. But yeah, that's why I don't generally do it. And that's... Look, I'm not going to lie and say I won't do it again. I probably will. But when I do fights like that, there is a very good risk that the build will die, and it's not something I should be doing. So don't expect that you can just call me a wuss and have me do boss fights like that. It might work, it might not. It will probably depend mostly on how much time I think I have. But yeah, bit of fun to fight a boss that could potentially kill me and will potentially give me nothing. I am liking these little swirlies. So the one of the weaknesses I've found of this build is you throw your Sky Shard and then you use Elextras and you put Haunt on things and that's kind of, that's it. You're done. You're waiting on you're waiting on Trozans. But if some of the procs are going off, you can do damage in between, which is quite nice. I think I missed Janaxia? Is it Janaxia? I think I missed Janaxia. I may have to go back for that. The one thing I definitely do not like about this proc, though, is the actual swirly. If it hits a rock or a pair of stairs, it will cancel itself early. So you kind of have to get used to moving away from walls if you want to keep your little swirly going. That said, it does pretty good damage. Not amazing, but pretty good. These things are quite tanky. Now the den, or the tree hollow whatever it's called, is not there today. Unfortunate. I've just done this section on the Templar. But the den is not there on this particular run through, so we'll go check the other places it could be. Alright, one of which could be over here. Now the other thing I am keeping my eyes open for is I'm watching for beasts to hit Nemesis. I'm not expecting it to happen until Ultimate, but beasts or Chthonians are almost always the first ones that hit Nemesis for me. And they are both quite scary when you're, you know, level 80 or 90 and still leveling. So definitely something you want to keep an eye on. How's Chthonians doing actually? Get out of the way. Where are we up to with the Chthonians? Okay, so it's going to be beasts for this character. Which is fine by me. Do I have a Wendigo Spirit? Of course I do not. I did hit 75, didn't I? I put the hat on and then I forgot about the rest. Let's go ahead and deal with that. So I want to swap in that chest, which I'm kind of hoping has Aether Res on it. It does not. But that's fine. 72, right. So we've got a bit more armor, and all of our resistances are fine now, especially Vitality. One thing we can do to fix this is... Where's Black Legion? Here. So we're actually miles away. What are we up to? We need another 8,000. What I could do is I could go to Fort Icon and just do a bunch of bounties. It would take me about an hour. I'm not going to do it, but I could do it. And then we could just use the augments to get Aether Res. There may also be other Aether Resistance augments available. For example, this guy may have one. What do we got? Damage. So these poison and bleeding resistance Slith Venoms. I use these fairly regularly once I have them available. Here we go. This one has 10% Aether Res, so I only need 2 of those. Not that one. I want that one. Okay, can I even use them? Bleeding, yes. Poison, yes. Okay, I can use one. Let's try that again. Don't try and use something when you have a shop open, it won't work. Okay, so we're up to 78. It's not ideal, but it will do the job. We could also, I think, not use that. We could also check the rovers. They might have a weapon enchant with some Aether Resist on it. I'm just going to check that. 2% is actually not a big deal. I don't need to do this, but I'm kind of curious now. So let's just see if the rovers have in here Aether Resist. They do not. Do they have anything else that might be useful though? 2 of those for weapons would be good. So these are all weapons, and none of them have Aether Res on them, which is, you know, unfortunate, but we did get a little more offensive ability. Our crit chance is back up around 17%. And you know what? I'm going to actually go check Homestead and Death's Vigil and Black Legion, who all live in Homestead. And if one of them has a weapon, adornment, or a jewelry adornment with some Aether Res in it, then I will probably buy it. This one would be alright. We do not have Revered, so we can't use that yet. That's fine. This guy here. Aether Res, only on their boots. And I'll check the Black Legion, but I don't even know if they will let us buy it. I know they have the Mankind's Vigil, which is this one here, which is amazing. If we had Revered with Black Legion, I would immediately buy, well, probably only 2 of these, but yeah, it would really free up a lot of other adornments and components. Aether Resist, no, and I'm not willing to swap this out. So that's fine, we'll run around with 2% undercapped resistances for a little bit. 2 more points in Maven's Sphere. Once again, the only thing I can say about this game that is actually bad is the pathing around upper and lower floors. It absolutely drives me wild. Right, so resistances are sorted, all our skill points are spent, all our attribute points are spent. We are now up to 22% damage absorption, so that is, I think, 5% up from where we were before I put those extra points in. And we can, in fact, take those out pretty much whenever we feel like it and put them into the Nightblade bar, which is almost certainly going to happen at some point. I don't need those anymore. Like I said, I've just been playing the Templar, and the Templar is still looking for devotion points. Okay, let's go get the let me see here. Conclave of the Three is the closest bank to a portal. Although the Coven is probably next closest. Let's get the Wendigo Spirit. We don't need that anymore, although the Runestone would be nice to keep. Same with these rings, I don't really care about them. So we'll probably just leave them, actually. Let's go let Ugdal out of his prison. And then we'll move on to Barrowhome. R.I.P. Ugdal. So you can see those little swirlies ran into a wall and immediately deleted themselves from existence. It's probably the one thing I don't like about these rings. The other set of rings I was thinking about, there's two? Yeah, basically 2 sets of rings that I'm thinking about for the final build. In terms of sets, there's also the Magi rings, which are, this is a trap, yep, every time. The Magi rings would probably be really good for this build. They're also probably going to be really annoying to farm. Having said that, the other 2 sets that I'm thinking of, or the other set that I'm thinking of, is the Alchemist rings. Now there's a blue set and a purple set. You're going to have the blue set a long time before you get the purple set. There's also, I think, a couple of other rings as well. Okay. So this particular area, the Undergrowth, has a big tree boss at the end of it, and we're going to go and kill her. And the entrance to this place is in random locations every time you go looking for it. Or it's in one of three locations, I think. Trees don't freeze for some reason. I gotta admit, running through here without seeing the big red circle above my head that says I'm taking extra damage just because is definitely very nice. I think the Sundered mechanic is a good idea. I also think the effective nerf to attack damage converted to health is also a good idea. Because the number of builds I've seen that are quote-unquote optimized that basically take the ghoul as their only defense is actually, it's a lot. A lot of those builds just take the ghoul and they say, right, that's it, defense is sorted. We've got some lifesteal, and If it gets hairy and the ghoul procs, well, I just go to full health and stay there, which is exactly what happens with the ghoul. So, I don't know, I think I'm okay with the life nerf. This is our boss in here. She should go down relatively easily. I'm not expecting this to be difficult. And then I get slammed down to half health. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want that. Well, I guess we do want that to sell it, but we're not going to use it. Alright, and we did miss, is it Laria? I can't remember her name. The witch in the first door just north of the Ancient Grove. We'll have to go back for her, so we can do the turn-ins all in one big go. I do like XP. Although, as it turns out, I don't like it enough to use the Explorer's set, which I could have by now. That was a lot of damage. Total shell procced, lovely. Okay, we're going to head up here and get the Barrowhome Rift, and then I'm going to go back and kill that witch, whose name I can't remember. I believe it's faster to run from the Coven, so we're going to run from here. And as long as we're in the area, we may as well sell all this stuff. Nope, don't need guns. Who needs guns when you've got spells? Alright, so we're going here. So down here is the Ancient Grove, and just here is Janaxia's den. So Janaxia is just a witch. I believe she's like a traitor to the Coven. Something along those lines anyway. If you don't kill her on your way through, or come back and get her, then later on the Coven will send you out to kill her. So I'm just going to do it now. I'm seriously considering swapping these rings back. And there's a crash. Okay. Be right back. Okay, and we are back in Janaxia's den after having ran over here. I crashed again and then ran over another time. So potentially I was wrong, and it's not actually the 1.2 patch that's causing the crashes, but whatever it is, it's definitely making me a very sad panda. It does seem to be less with the patch uninstalled though, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we're here to kill Janaxia, so let's go get it. The other thing I could look at for augments is the Outcast. Okay, she's dead. Fang of Chthon is Vitality, so I'm not interested in that. Of course that makes sense, Chthon is Vitality and Chaos. The Eldritch Backscratcher, that sounds like fun. It's not for us, but it is amusing. Okay, so we have got Janaxia, and now we can head back to Ugdenbog. And we can talk to... Wait a second. Did I not pick... Ah, I didn't pick up Barrowhome. Really? Ah, wait. Did I pick up Barrowhome, or did that crash roll me back to before? I don't know. So the map is revealed up to that point. Do I have to go kill the big tree again? I'm gonna be quite upset if I do. You know what? Let's just do it. Get it done. Unfortunately, we don't get another blue chest out of this, but fortunately, I can't remember if I actually opened it, so maybe we do get a blue chest out of this. There is way too many plants in this place. Alright, I think... Well, not I think. I definitely did already open it. Alright, let's do this. Same as last time, not really expecting anything too particularly difficult. Just gonna run past all this stuff. Okay. She's dead, and we are leaving. So, whether I got rolled back before then or not, I'm not sure. I'm 99% sure I had the Barrowhome Rift. I'll have to review the footage, but I'm pretty sure I went up to the Rift and then came back and killed her. So if I don't actually have the Rift, then I would have had to kill her again. So that's done. Still have the Leaf Mane horn though. Alright, we keep going north. You have any Basilisk Venom for me? Or Venom Gaze Bile? Already got that one too. Okay, so that quest is done. I will be shocked if I don't have an Ancient Heart in my bank already. And while we're here, we may as well let these witches out. Alright. So, witches are free. We can just run north here. And come back for the bits. But we can just run up here to Barrowhome. And you can see, so I would have been pretty much on top of that to reveal the map like that. So I'm pretty sure it rolled me back to before I had that one. But that is fine. Okay, let's go talk to Scorv and continue onwards. We sided with Barrowhome in normal, didn't we? Yes, we did. Good. Sell them some rubbish while we're here. Yep, you can have all of what I've got left. Do I want those pants? I don't. You know what, you can have those rings as well. Well, I think I'm going to hang on to this one for a bit. I want that runestone back. What is that? Wretched Necessity. That is actually some resistances I want. That's fine.
Put it to good use.
Okay. So let's talk to Scorv. We're going to side with them again. Just for options, really. Remain friendly. And I will speak to them. And actually, I'm going to end this episode here. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.